My entitled parents ruined every birthday since my sister was born, allowing my sister to blow out my birthday candles as well as to have all of my gifts and presents. And after 8 years of misery and woe, I finally blew up on my parents and let the cat out of the bag. And now as a result, my entire family sided with me and turned on my parents for their disgusting behavior and their absolute neglect towards my happiness. And I honestly can't believe how things went down. Here's what happened. So this year, I'm 18 years old, and fairly recently, I am on my own from my parents. I have a sister about 10 years younger than me. She was an unplanned pregnancy and nearly didn't make it to term. I don't know many of the details of how rough my mother's second pregnancy was, since I was never told much, but I do know that it was so hard on her body that my mother could no longer have kids after my sister was born. She was in and out of the hospital repeatedly that year. My mother almost didn't survive the birth either. It made her and my father latch on to my little sister because she could have potentially never been born. And ever since then, I felt like I was just the other child in the house. That is, except for when they needed a free babysitter. The level of favoritism my parents showed long term has me believing they are genuinely sick in the head for not noticing exactly what it was doing to me. And now it's rebounding on them. So starting with my 11th birthday, my parents wanted me to let my sister blow out my candles because she was 2 years old and cried at the sight of birthday cake that wasn't hers. I didn't want to do it, but my parents forced me into it, and they relit the candles for me to do it again after her. But at that point, the moment felt completely ruined. The same thing happened the next year and the year after that, and so on and so forth. They just kept forcing it until it became the norm. My sister even had to have presents on my birthdays as well. And to top it all off, I never got any of hers either. And when I asked why, they just told me that I'm a boy and boys don't need to worry about it as much. I know I was a kid, but did they really think that this was the best thing to say or the smartest thing to say? Not really, in my opinion. And my parents would always choose a place my sister would like to be at more than me on my own birthday. Eventually, it became more like my sister was getting 2 birthdays a year and I was getting none. Beyond this, my parents made their entire lives revolve around my sister. If there's something I wanted to do, my sister had to want to do it too. Otherwise, it was vetoed, unless I could do it alone. I eventually just learned to lock myself in my room with my video games because they didn't seem to bother me there. That is, unless my sister wanted to run into my room and annoy me, hence why I always put a lock on the door. My parents wanted me to remove it, but I freaked out because I was an angry teenager who was tired of being intruded on at any given moment. But things only got worse when my parents denied me ever having a birthday ever again, with my extended family eventually finding out, and they were angry.